Well, I guess I called it. I guess, reading and watching and, just, being intrigued and being a fan of this kind of storytelling and, these kind of characters having these kind of powers and having fun with them, over the, just, learn, just enjoying them over the years, if you will, through various other writers and artists from places like DeviantArt and Ink Bunny and Fur Affinity, or Fur Affinity, for Affinity, easy for me to say FA, if you will. There's all those other places, including here on YouTube or on YouTube if you're watching it there or watching this here and all that. So, yeah, being a fan, of this, enjoying what I read, and look at artistically, it it almost comes as no surprise that, I can pretty much guess, if you will, I can pretty much guess exactly what will happen next. And last week, I talked about this. I think I talked about this here on my channel. No, I did. I did talk about this here on my channel. But yeah, I pretty much called it. I pretty much called it when I said that Emily was going to go inanimate, and she did. She did. This morning, about, I would say, an hour or so ago, TroubleTRO, otherwise known as POVAR22 here on YouTube, or on YouTube, I should say, if you're listening to this through audio, through various podcast affiliates of mine. But yeah, TroubleTRO, like I said, who is POVAR 22, POVAR 22 here on YouTube, on YouTube. Basically, they uploaded the 21st part of the 18th chapter of the Pink Benefits series. Now, the Pink Benefits series is pretty much the primary series. It is basically like, it is basically their main focal point. Like, let's say they want to eventually, down the line, connect all their shape-shifting, stories into one universe, one storytelling cinematic-like universe. Pink Benefits would basically be their anchor. Kind of like Iron Man originally was the anchor for the MCU when it started. That's exactly what, Pink Benefits can be viewed as the anchor for TroubleTRO and those shape-shifting stories that they have out there. And believe me, they have a lot. They have one that they're currently working on called Cat Burglar. They have others like Anything You Want and, Science Experiment, just to name a few, primary few that they work on. And then, of course, you got Pink Benefits. And then on the side, they have a collab story like Agent Pink, which they do on occasions with Mr. Internet Man from DeviantArt. But yeah, like I said, today he uploaded on Patreon the final part 21 of the 18th chapter of Pink Benefits. And as I said, when I talked about this previously, I mentioned that Emily, she was going to go inanimate, and I was right. Because the way she played it out basically is, she was enjoying being, a different woman and all that. But she had realized that she had gone through all these different kind of transformations, from being different people to being different, material, gooey melted liquid, puddles and all that. That there was one thing that she had not tried and she wanted to, because the voice, the voice in her head, which is the alien voice of, that I guess you could say houses the power that she now possesses to shapeshift. The alien, if you will, or the inner voice within her, I guess you'd say, has been encouraging her, has been saying, look, you can do a lot more with this power than you can expect. You can do a lot more than just change into, different people or fictional characters and all that. You can do a lot more. And over time, she, out of the two main characters, her and Betty, she has been the one to really experiment. I mean, she's gone on to be different, like I say, different material, like metal, goo, that, you know, rubber, slime, if you will. She's gone on to be all that. She's even gone on to be, like I said, other women. She's even gone on to be guys, like when she became temporarily known as Ethan. And then while she was getting it on with this one, strip dancer girl, she ends up going into the strip dancer girl and possessing her body. And then when she comes out of the girl, she becomes out as nothing but liquid goo, and she enjoys it. And then she becomes a drone with multiple hands, and then she goes back to being a girl again. But then she decides, as she's going into, I guess you could say, the coffee shop or whatever, she decides to go into, I guess, the rest area or dress area, whatever it is. And, just that's when she decides, you know what? I've tried all these other things, but there's one thing I've not tried. And the moment she said she was going to try something different, that's when you knew, she might be doing something that we have not seen yet. And the one thing she decided to do was try out a material of silk. She had never been silk before, or been made of the material silk. So basically, she uses the powers she now has to make herself into a faceless silk drone. But she says, I'm not done. She says, I'm not done yet. And then we find out today, this morning, after TroubleTRO drops it finally, basically we find out, what pretty much I, and I'm sure others probably called, when they saw that cliffhanger at the end of the, chapter, at the end of part 17 of chapter, not 17, but at the end of part 20 of chapter 18, pretty much, she did exactly what I, and I'm sure others called when they saw that cliffhanger at the end of part 20, of, chapter 18 of Pink Benefits. And that is the fact that she wanted to be inanimate. And lo and behold, in this chapter, she becomes exactly that. She becomes inanimate. She becomes basically a silk top, if you will, like a silky dress top and everything. And she's just enjoying it. And she's even complimenting even saying to herself that, if only Betty could see what she's capable of now, she'd freak and everything. And then she ends up, as a result, becoming, like I say, a silky dress top. And she's so enamored about it, lying on this little round stool, saying she could just lie here all day and everything and enjoy the moment. But then something interesting happens. As she's she's enjoying herself, she hears something, and in comes somebody else. In comes another woman, and she comes in thinking, hello, is anybody there? I thought I heard somebody. And then she looks down, and then she sees Emily. She doesn't know it's Emily, though. It's this, silky dress top. And then that's pretty much how chapter 18, if you will, overall ends. It ends with this woman seeing what she's assuming is just somebody leaving behind a silky dress top behind, and probably going to claim it for her own or put it in the lost and found. We don't know. But what's interesting is she's not, aware that this, dress top, this silky dress top, is, an actual person. It is, probably, someone she knows in Emily and everything. Because I think maybe way in the earlier portions of the Pink Benefit story when it began, I think we may have seen this girl character before, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, she sees Emily lying there. She doesn't know it's Emily because she thinks it's just somebody left their clothing behind. And I'm not going to be surprised when we get to chapter 19, whenever that will be, as she starts, trying her on. Now, I'm sure, chapter 19 will start focusing on Betty more than anything in the fun she'll have on her mission with her powers, there's no doubt. The fun her and her husband will get into, and, if you know what I mean. and so on. So, there's no doubt we're going to focus on Betty there, and the fact that she'll even discover she can do more with her powers than what she's been doing already. So it's going to be an interesting time period of theorizing and speculating exactly what TroubleTRO has in mind when it comes to the 19th chapter of Pink Benefits. But right now, what TroubleTRO, POVAR 22 on YouTube, what they plan to do is take a bit of a break for at least a week, maybe two, recharge themselves, and then come back swinging within the next week or so. So, basically what they're saying is they're going to be taking off this week, which is essentially the 1st to the 7th, and potentially maybe, and potentially maybe the 8th to the 14th. So they're basically saying, hey, you may not see anything from me to at least the 14th, at the latest, maybe sooner. But we'll see. We'll see what they do. But I will say that they do deserve the break. They've done, they've done basically almost a nonstop banger of a job on these stories. So I do believe they deserve a break. And I hope they enjoy the little vacation they have for themselves. And again, from what it sounds like, they're going to come back swinging. They're going to come back swinging. And I can tell you a lot of people are going to be wondering what could be next on the dock, for them. We know that one of the stories, that they're working on is Cat Burglar, and the way that one ended, the recent chapter, or the recent part, I should say, for that, is the girl who's basically the infiltrator. She's basically like a spy that uses, shape-shifting pills, that I think last 24 hours or so. She uses them to infiltrate this party to, find this individual. Well, she finds that individual, and let's just say they kind of start getting it on. And the last part, is her basically is her disguised as this one girl, this ditzy girl, as she calls it, getting it on with the guy, and her saying, as the ditzy girl, like telling the guy as the ditzy girl, being in character, ooh, do me good kind of deal, or basically encouraging him to do her good. And but then in her mind, as herself, she's like, this isn't so bad. So leaving that the way it is, it makes you wonder, okay, is she, it makes you theorize with the cat burglar story, is she having such a good time? Is she now starting to enjoy herself in that manner to where, okay, will she turn? Will she be like, you know what? I enjoyed having this moment with this guy. You know what? I'm not going to turn him up, turn him in. I'm not going to do anything against him. I'm going to, I'm going to go and, turn on my friends. I'm going to join this guy. Could that be what happens? I don't think so. But we'll have to see. But I don't think it's going to happen because I think, not I think, but I know we've seen something similar in the Pink Benefits about a couple months ago, to where it was Betty that did something similar, and she had to basically remember, okay, I got to get out of here. It's like I had my fun. I got some pleasure out of it, but I got to get out of here. I gotta remember this is a mission I'm on. So yeah. Basically that's what the cat burglar story that he's working on currently ended on. So it's up to you what you think's going to happen. I don't think he'll have the girl that's the spy gets so infatuated with what she's doing that she'll be like, screw this, screw my job, I'd rather get screwed kind of deal. I don't think it'd be written like that. I think what's going to happen is she's going to be kind of being like, as good as this feels and everything, I gotta remember that I'm on a mission here. As good as this feels, I gotta remember I'm on a mission and stuff. So yeah, I expect that probably be the next step in the cat burglar series he's working on. I also do expect that we're either going to get the announcement when he comes back from his week or 2 week break, that we're either going to see the return of Anything You Want or the Science Experiment series. And if I was to put money, I'm not going to, but if I was to put money, I say we might see Science return, because that's the one that hasn't, been around for a while. I mean, if anything, Anything You Want has, I think, reared its head, sooner than, a lot sooner than Science. And Science was the first installment of Science Experiment was done, after, done during, one of the first installments of Anything You Want. And then all of a sudden, the next part came out, like, I wouldn't say came out of nowhere, but came out a lot sooner. But I do expect one of those two to be announced to be a project he's going to work on alongside Capregular in the next couple, for the rest of the year. And I'm going to go with Science Experiment. He's already alluded to me that the script's been working on. The script is done and ready to go, and that the renderings are the only thing he's working on. And yeah, I think that might be the next one. That might be the next story he works on alongside Capregular. So let me know what your thoughts are, guys, though. Let me know what your guys' thoughts on TroubleTRO and what he's done with these series of stories he's, created for everybody's entertainment. Let me know if you follow TroubleTRO on Patreon, and, what are your thoughts on the Pink Benefit series? And, what are you looking forward to next from him? Are you looking forward to more of the Capregular series? Are you looking more forward to what he has planned next? Let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear what you have to say on all this. But yeah, Pink Benefits so far, it's been a great series. It's been a great series, and like I said, just to catch you up real quickly, it's about two girls, two best friends, BFFs, if you will, probably more than that gain these powers, I think through some kind of like alien source or something they come in contact with. I'm not really sure. They gain these shape-shifting powers that over time, that not only do they learn how to use, but over time evolve with and basically become incorporated into who they are. Especially when one of them, in this case Emily, that is, excuse me, has the voice of the alien substance in her head, encouraging her as a thank you to, go out with her powers, have fun with them, and just let herself grow with them, evolve, if you will. But yeah, that's what, we're at with Pink Benefits. Basically the girls are evolving and growing with these powers, discovering they can do a lot more, and they're having fun with them, or in the process of doing so. But let me know what your thoughts are, though, again, guys, on Pink Benefits. As I said, if you follow TroubleTRO, let me know what your thoughts are. What are your thoughts on shape-shifting stories in general, no matter how they're done? Let me know. Let me know which story you're looking forward to from them the most next, whether it's Anything You Want or the Science Experiment. And let me know what your thoughts are on Capregular. And yeah, but yeah, I do recommend checking TroubleTRO out at DeviantArt, checking him out over on Patreon, supporting him there. You will definitely enjoy what you see. And yeah, that's all I can really say on this Saturday morning. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Comment below, like the video, ring the bell for notifications. Also, subscribe to the channel, helps me out in a big way. Also, check out my Teespring store. Link is in the description to get merchandise you can't get anywhere else. Grab yourself a mug or a t-shirt, or even a sweater, especially as we go into the fall season. There's stuff that you, like I say, you can't find anywhere else. Also, there are links to where you can find me elsewhere on the internet, from iHeartRadio, Odyssey, Rumble, VENMO, Spotify for podcasters, and so on, and Pandora. You can find me in those areas. As well as you can find me at Venmo and Cash App if you want to help donate there as well. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are again about all this. And until then, I'll talk to y'all later.